rupture, confusion, or inconsistency from a partner do we tolerate when it's constantly triggering us versus how much is your own work to self-soothe. But if you're feeling anxious about a relationship dynamic right now, maybe you got in an argument, maybe you're just feeling triggered or generally spiraled about something he said or didn't say, what I want you to first do is take a breath, okay? You're here with me now, and this video is going to help you feel better, not just in this moment, but also give you some tools to feel better in moments to come. Sometimes we end up feeling really out of control when there is a pulling away or a conflict. There's like this huge panic in your body, even when your mind is saying it's not that big a deal, or it's okay, or he's probably not ghosting me, or we try and logic our way out of it, when the truth is the body is having a really big experience of fear and panic. And so because the body is having an experience, we need the body and our own body to learn how to soothe that experience. And what we are sometimes doing is when we meet someone and we like them, we consciously or unconsciously put a lot of expectation for our emotional needs onto that other person. And if we allow this one person to hold 90% of our emotional world, then every text, every mood shift, every little moment can become a situation of crisis because you have put your feeling okay in are they okay? But what we're talking about right now is a tool called self-soothing. And self-soothing is exactly what it sounds like. It's when you are able to regulate your own nervous system, even in the face of rupture or conflict or confusion. And of course, there's a big conversation here about how much rupture, confusion, or inconsistency from a partner do we tolerate when it's constantly triggering us versus how much is your own work to self-soothe. But right now, because I'm imagining if you clicked on this title, you're actually feeling quite dysregulated, I just want you to come into your body for a second, okay? So putting your hands on your stomach or your heart, just taking a breath, and saying to yourself, okay, I am here with myself. I am here with myself. And that might feel soothing and it might feel like not enough, because what we usually want in these moments is for the other person to soothe us. We want them to talk to us, fix it, come back close to me. But if our skill set of repair and feeling okay relies on another person, it is setting us up for failure, and it's indicative of anxious attachment style. And we want to have a secure attachment style when we can feel safe that, for example, fight or conflict is actually just part of relationship. There are healthy and unhealthy expressions of it. There are healthy and unhealthy levels of communication, but there will always be little rupture within relationship, especially the more true to ourselves we are being in that relationship. And what's way more important is what happens after that. How can we and the other person care for ourselves so that we can come back together? And if you are in a relationship with someone who is a little bit avoidant and maybe secure, sometimes other people need space. And that might feel like the opposite of what you need. You want to be close to them, you want to talk it out, you want to fix it. And we have to actually just acknowledge that as their boundary. And I know that your adult self can see that, but it's probably this more tender inner child part of yourself that's freaking out. She wants it to be fixed. She wants to know what the answer is. She wants to make it right. She wants to get close to him because she doesn't feel safe enough to just be here with you. So self-soothing is the practice of being able to regulate our nervous system when we feel triggered or spirally. And that's something that we can do through the breath, obviously. This is something that I teach a lot within my program, which is going to be linked in the show notes. There's like 50 somatic practices that are tools built specifically for anything around anxious attachment and boundaries and needs. Okay, so your job in these moments is to come back into regulation. And you can do that in different ways. You can do that through exercise, going for a walk, having a shower, letting yourself feel what you're feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You know, if this is like a guy that you just met and you had a good makeout session after the first date and then he didn't message you, and your adult self is like, okay, I shouldn't feel this sad, but I'm so sad. Let yourself be sad. Let yourself cry about it. Let yourself have a tantrum about it. Actually get the emotions out of your body, which will take the edge of how intense things feel off. Because right now there's a lot of energy in your body around this, and we want to express it. And maybe not express it by going and calling him 15 times, but how can I actually take responsibility for this energy? Responsibility being ability to respond. And my response is, okay, I'm going to take care of myself. As I said, shower, go for a walk, can be calling a friend. Your practice might be self-soothing if you always default to calling a friend, but can also be calling a friend. Maybe that's actually your edge. You would never call someone, but now that's your practice, is to actually reach out to someone. So getting this need of connection and I'm safe met again, because right now you're feeling unsafe and you're feeling out of control. So how does this actually change our relationships when we are able to self-soothe? When we have this skill set, which is what it is, it's not like something that we can pretend to do. That would be performing, that would be acting unbothered. But when we actually feel settled in ourselves in this, even in triggering moments, when we can bring ourselves back to regulation, then we are not texting someone just because we're anxious. We're not interpreting his silence as rejection or meaning something about us all the time. Your logical brain knows people can have so much going on. They can be sick. They can have, just left a relationship of 7 years that you didn't even know, where they could have a kid. There's so many reasons why someone might pull back or cut things off, and it's not fair. It's not ideal when they don't communicate, but what we sometimes do, which causes the spiral to be way worse, is we assume it's about us. I wasn't enough. I did something wrong. It's not always about you, babe. You're amazing. It's okay. It's okay. And when we feel it's okay, that we have a little more capacity to handle things like inconsistency and stress. So this is why we practice self-soothing. We can also practice self-soothing by learning what it is that supports us the best. So I already gave you a whole list a few times. You probably know what makes you feel good and what makes you feel regulated. Another level of this is being okay when someone else is not okay. So if right now the reason you came to this video is because someone is upset with you, or they're pulling back, or they're shutting down, can we allow that to be part of their process about whatever they're going through, about their patterns and their trauma? We can be a compassionate person, but as soon as it goes into empathy, really taking on all their emotions, we're just doubling their emotions. We're not really helping them take it, or feeling like I need to fix this because this is about me. How much can we actually be with someone else who is uncomfortable? Can we allow people to be upset with us and obviously come into our heart and take responsibility for whatever part we played, but also maybe sometimes we don't have to. So these are all just little angles of the same tool, which is self-regulation, which having a self-regulation and a self-soothing practice just means being able to get your needs met in a healthy way, being able to regulate your nervous system on your own. And it doesn't mean you can never ask someone for reassurance. The problem only becomes when we put our sense of reassurance onto one person in one specific way. So, calming relationship anxiety in moments of trigger or conflict really requires you resourcing yourself. And the more that you know how to resource yourself, the more capacity you actually have for this feeling, or this rejection sensitivity, we might call it, or the ability to just hold multiple truths at the same time, that he's not texting you back and it might not be about you, right? There can be so many different truths, and it allows you, when you're more regulated, you're actually not in a survival response. So instead of your brain or your body or your behaviors acting out of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, you're acting from a grounded place, and you'll make much more mature, loving decisions from that place that just feel way more rested in yourself. So the only thing you need to do after watching this video, well, maybe you want to subscribe for more, but what you need to do is take care of yourself. You don't need to go watch another video. You don't need to psychoanalyze what it means or try and figure it out or reread back through the conversation. You need to be like, hey, I'm going to be here with my body. What does my body actually need or want? What does my inner child need or want? She wants to feel held. I have to hold her. She wants to feel held by him. Okay, but it's your job to hold her right now. Yeah? Okay. This is your practice of self-soothing. This is going to be your number one tool to just showing up more securely in your relationships, to feeling confident in your relationships, and to being able to interrupt spirals and have yourself feeling so much better as soon as possible. Sending you so much love. Hope to see you soon in another video. Take care of yourself right now. We'll talk soon. Mwah.